of how to come close to Him by doing what He's doing. But who is going to teach us the way of the Prophet ﷺ? The best teachers are the ones that He had appointed, and He says, these are my inheritors, these are my waris, these are the ones who will teach you about me after I've passed. And this is what tarikats are. And especially in the Naqshbandi tariqat, in the Osmanli Naqshbandi tariqat, I'm speaking just for our Jamaat, I cannot speak for other Jamaats. We are concentrating on the discipline of the Sunnat according to the waris, according to the Khalifa, according to the Shaykh that has been appointed to be over us, and that is our Shaykh Sahibul Saif, Shaykh Abdul Kabir Siyar Rabbani, that he has been appointed by Sultan al-Awliya to be over us, to teach us, and we have been commanded, ordered to follow him, and we are following him. So that time, when you are following him, now you're going to understand, we are going to understand the Sunnat and the awareness, the Sunnat and the Taqwa of Prophet ﷺ, that will lead us to the Sunnat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first looking at that one who is teaching us, and we're going to go according to the way that he walks. Not according to the way that we understand or we read, or television is showing, or movie is showing, or new thing from scholars they are saying, or new fatwa they are saying, or even our own common sense. I just said. Now, we're getting deeper into the adab and the sunnat. So many people, like what we said before, they have good intentions, but because they are living in ghaflat, they are heedless, they're not looking out to see how the enemy is going to attack, inside or outside. They're not looking at their ego, but they have good intention. Their actions can cause fitna. To that person, I'm just trying to help. Good intention, I'm just trying to help. But in that action, others will say, that action, you are doing that, and this is causing so much confusion because you should not be talking to that person, or you should not be talking to that person, or you should not even be helping. Who are you to help? Now, even this ghaflat is not innocent. Ghaflat is never innocent. Because if you are in tariqat, someone coming to me and asking me about taqwa and how to praise and to follow. Praising is not just to sit and to praise Allah, His Prophet, and our Shaykh. They don't need our praises. They don't need us to magnify them or to glorify them. They want us to be thankful. They love us and they want us to be with them. And to return that love, we say, we will give whatever that you have given us back to you. Our own identities, we give it back to you. Our own faith, we give it back to you. Our own will, we give it back to you. And that time you start reflecting from your Shaykh, from the Prophet. You start reflecting. Then that's the time when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying through the mouth of His Prophet ﷺ, there are certain men, when you see them in this world, they will remind you of Allah. Not to say that you look at them and they look like God. They will remind you of Allah because they are already ahli zikr. They are always in remembrance of Allah. They are always with Allah, and Allah is with them. Because they are always with Allah, when you see them, they will remind you of Allah. So once you start giving back whatever that has been entrusted to you, then that time you will have a taqwa, yes, of your Shaykh. To feel his awareness, to be aware of his presence always. Because he's teaching you not about him, he's teaching you about the Prophet. And Prophet ﷺ is teaching us about Allah. So that time, step by step, you will have the taqwa of Allah. Otherwise, it's only imagination and it's only ego. Once you start doing that, you will move away from praise and you will fall into what? Hizmet. The greatest examples to us are the Sahaba Kiram. They did not just sit and praise Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. They don't just sit and they praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They gave service. They gave their families, their wealth, their youth, their whole life to the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the way of the Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. So now you move away from praise and you enter into hizmet. You start to serve. When you start serving, we may get the title that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, this is my favorite name. And that title is Abdullah. Inshallah Rahman, one day we will be given that title. We are Allah's weak creatures, His weak servants. And we're trying very hard, like this or like that, to be following our share. Of course we're not perfect. Of course we make mistakes all the time. But may Allah keep our intentions clean and pure, and for us not to fall into ghaflat. Assalamu alaikum.